Hey, Hugh from ClickFunnels Support here. So in this video, I'm just going to go over how we can use and configure the image element. So I have a simple page set up here. We currently don't have any elements, so we'll click Add New Element. We can then click on Media to get a subsection of just the media-related elements. We'll then add it in an image element. We can click on it to get into the settings, or we can hover over and then click on the gears icon. So the first thing what we're going to want to do is probably to actually set our own custom image. I'll just use this one for the example. From there, there's a couple things that we can configure. And we'll start by manually changing the size of it. So you could manually change both the height and the width. I will note though that generally you only want to change one or the other, because if you change both of them, it will change the aspect ratio. That is the ratio of it horizontally to it vertically, which can make it appear a little bit scrunched up or distorted. If we only set one, the other will auto default to maintain that same aspect ratio. We can also link it if we want, so you could place in a link to any external URL that you want. You can also use the built-in options here to, for example, open the pop-up, submit a form, bring them through the next step in the funnel, close a pop-up, or the yes and no links if this happened to be a OTO page. We can choose the link target. Normal will have it just open or just occur in the same browser window, but we can also have it open that link in a new tab or window. We can adjust the top margin, and we can add alternate text, which has two functions. It's mainly used for SEO, search engine optimization, and it just allows crawlers to understand what that image actually represents, because they won't be able to see it. So you just want to give it a descriptive name, like Funnel Hacking Live. I will also note the other main place that this would come into play would be someone who is accessing your page via a screen reader. Again, the screen reader isn't able to describe the image itself to the person. However, it will look at the alternative text and let them know what the picture of. So in this case, it would let them know that there is a picture of Funnel Hacking Live. Moving over from there, we can click on themes and choose from a couple of pre-built themes. We can also manually configure things by going into the Advanced tab. By default, the Styles tab will be pre-selected, so we can choose an alignment between left, right, and center. We can choose to have it appear as a circle or to appear with just slightly rounded corners. We can add a shadow. We can change the opacity from fully visible to light fade, all the way up to strong fade. And finally, we can choose if we want full color or just a black and white version of the image. Lastly, we can click on the animation tab and set up a time delay. We can choose between fade in and fade in with scale. If I set it to 1 minute and 30 seconds, for example, the element in question will not actually appear on the page until 1 minute and 30 seconds after the page has been loaded. We can also add an animation, and we can choose between on-page load or on-page scroll. On-page load will take effect as soon as the page is loaded, and on-page scroll will only take effect when the element in question actually comes into view for the user. Along with that, we can choose a style, and we can set up a delay in milliseconds. So hopefully this helps clear things up a little bit in terms of how to use and configure the image element inside of the ClickFunnels editor. If you do have some more questions though, or anything like that, definitely go ahead and let us know in support chat.